Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my son! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Can you start this episode with Metallica's Unforgiven playing?
I could. You know what? Sure. They won't notice.
What's Lars gonna fucking do?
Yeah. Sue us? Innocent independent podcasters?
You know what he might. Don't put maybe do Cyanide, the lesser known. He'll appreciate if we play a lesser known Metallica song, maybe.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with this week's movie?
I don't know, but they had all these Metallica songs in Fortnite. So I think maybe Lars in his old age is like, yeah, let the kids have the music.
Did he have the Unforgiven in Fortnite?
Yeah, I remember cruising around to it.
Oh wow.
Because my squad was getting killed, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to stay in the car and listen to this song for a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like in a real firefight, that's what one would want to do anyway.
Sorry, I'm regurgitating some notes.
Ooh, you wrote notes. I gotta start writing notes. I just have everything in my brain.
See, I had my phone in my hand. I should have. I took the day off on Friday, and it's because I was supposed to be in Chicago, and then the trip got canceled. So I took the day off anyway, and I was just watching. And it was nice not to have something else in my hands as I was watching it.
I always say I'm going to take notes. I'll be like, I'll take notes for this one. And then I don't take notes and I just have it in my head. I know what I'm going to say about this movie. And then we do them. And then when it's over, I go, oh, I forgot to say that. Should have written notes. Oh, well, some things are just for me. Listeners don't deserve to hear it.
This fucking movie.
I can't tell if that's a positive or a negative. Anyway, welcome to Stand and Watch, I'm pretty sure the only dad movie podcast out there.
You know what? I did some roundabouts. The only active one. All the other ones are dead.
Oh, okay, great. There can only be one.
Yeah, I did some browsing, light browsing. Yeah, every one of them. They were those weekend dads that, you know, they wear the boat shoes and they buy themselves a little Shure microphone and tell themselves they're going to be podcasters, and then they die.
Oh yeah, we killed them is what we did actually.
There can only be one.
Yeah, we had these plans set years ago, and we had to kill them all before we could officially start. So if any of them were your dads, we apologize, but just know that they died slowly.
Dead dads are good for this podcast SEO, so they had to go.
Yeah. The more dead dads, the better for us. Anyway, I am your host, Matt.
I am your co-host, Nick.
Yes, you are my co-host.
I always do that little inflection at the end of my name. I don't know why I do that during podcast introductions. I'm going to start doing it in real life. I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm here for the job interview. My name's Nick. All right. Thank you for coming.
And they'll be like, we can't hire this man. He's a podcaster. Get the fuck out of my Burger King.
Oh, Burger King would be lucky to have you.
You know what? I interviewed at a Burger King one time.
Did you really?
They did not want me. No. Like I sat and it was like me interviewing with him and another person interviewing with him at the same time. And I think he liked the other guy better.
One time I applied within the course of like a week. I applied for Toys R Us, Walmart, the movie theaters, McDonald's, and a Home Depot. And like maybe one,
Did you
maybe
get any?
maybe a couple of them. I didn't get any of them. Only one of them got back to me. It was the Toys R Us, and they said, "Thank you for your application, but you're not what we're looking for right now."
I thought the timeline was going to line up perfectly where they're like, "You're perfect. We're going out of business."
No, they never went out of business in the land of the North.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
So you guys probably don't have these up here, up in your neck of the woods, but Hollywood Video, I applied
No.
for one in college, and they give you a whole goddamn placement test. I had to do math. It did like if somebody was into Halloween, but they wanted something like Halloween, but not Friday the 13th, what would you recommend them? You had to do a spelling test. You had to do all these tests, and I think I failed. I think I failed the spelling portion.
That's crazy. The only test you should need to work at a video store is do you watch movies a lot? Yeah, great. You're hired.
Do you know the alphabet? Kind
Yes.
of.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You're hired.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't fuck with me.
none of them wanted me. I was only good enough for Toys R Us to respond to, so that was a big dent in my ego.
Yeah, I mean, not much has changed in the job hunting prospect of things. Like
Yeah.
you apply, you get ghosted.
It
The
might
earth
even be worse.
continues to spin.
Now there's all those fake jobs.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
watch out on Indeed and LinkedIn. You
Yeah,
have to
they're
like
just
actually go to the place's website to make sure it's the actual posting. It's scary out there.
just full of fake companies with fake jobs that aren't real. Just ridiculous. But yeah, that's when I realized I had no skills.
You
So
had no way of selling yourself.
I had no hireable skills. I was a useless individual to society, so I did what anyone would do in that situation. I went to film school.
Oh no. That's the worst thing you could have done. You could have lied on your resume. Everybody lies on their resume. I'm doing it right now.
I did lie on my resumes, and Toys R Us still said no. So I went to film school and became a comedy writer for a satirical gaming website, and now I host a podcast.
You poor fucker. You poor fucker. That said, I took classes at Second City, and it was that or law school. And there are days where I'm like, you should have went to fucking law school, dude.
Before I started at Hard Drive, I had just been fired from the record store I was working at, and I was like, well, maybe now's the time to go take classes at Second City, get back into improv. And I didn't do it. I because I got Hard Drive. I was like, great, someone will pay me to be funny.
I like your guys' theater up there. I've never been. I just always heard good things about the Canada Second City.
Yeah, they moved locations recently.
Did they? They're not in old Toronto, or did they move buildings? Or
I don't. Yeah, they're they're right off the highway now.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, in like a big building.
You go to a Tim Hortons, grab a coffee, grab a burger, and then
There's literally a Tim Hortons in the lot, like in the first floor of that building.
the one in Chicago. You walk in, there's a Starbucks, and then right next to it is a Chipotle, which is
Yes.
hilarious because the fucking Starbucks CEO is formerly now the Chipotle CEO.
I've
So I
been
got a
to the
good
one in Chicago.
pick.
I don't remember the Chipotle. I'm pretty sure I went to that Starbucks.
How long ago? How long ago was this? Maybe we bumped into each other and didn't realize it.
2017, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that could have been both. Yeah, we could have both been there. I spent a lot of time there in 2017.
Oh yeah, I went there. We went to a show there. That was the day we went to Second City. This has nothing to do with the movie, but it's a fun story I like to tell. So bear with us. That day I held in the longest piss I've ever held in my life because
Oh god.
we went, and I'm usually good at holding it in. Like my body knows, like, okay, you're in a, like, because I don't like public washrooms, so my body usually is like, okay, I know you're like in a good place to like go, right? But so that day, our show was in the evening, so beforehand we were gonna like walk around a bit, go get some dinner at Ditka's, and then go to the Second City show. So we walked around for a bit. I did some stuff in the daytime, and I drank like a bottle of soda while we were like out and about. and then I started to have to pee, and there's no bathrooms around, right? So we're like, okay, you know what? It's around dinner time. Let's go to Ditka's. You'll pee there before we eat. So we go to Ditka's, sit down. I go to the bathroom, and I don't like public bathrooms. I pretty much never use them. I'm like, okay, this is fine. So I go in there. I go into the urinal. I'm about to do my business. Guy comes in, goes to the urinal right next to me. Which, what the fuck, right? Because all the other urinals were free. So now I can't perform. So I go, okay, I'll just stand here and pretend I'm taking a really long piss, and I'll wait for him to leave, and then I'll piss. But he kept pissing, and more people kept coming in. Now all the urinals are taken. So I go, okay, I'll wait for these people to leave, I guess, and then I'll go into the stall. Because I figure if they see me going to the stall after this, it'll be like, what did that guy eat? Okay, so I'm waiting for these people to leave so I can go into the stall and piss in privacy. And as these people are pissing, the stalls get taken up. I don't know what happened. I go into this bathroom, it's empty. After I go in, everybody decides they're also going to go to the bathroom. So now
you must have caught like some show must have been an intermission at that point.
I don't know. So I'm standing at this urinal, like pretending to piss, and I, as soon as like someone leaves the stall, I see someone go into the stall, and it's like fuck. So I don't piss. I wash my hands. I go to the seat. We ate dinner. I didn't drink anything. I didn't order a drink. I was like, I'll just have the water. I didn't touch it. So I ate this dinner. My bladder's full. It's starting to get uncomfortable. You know when you hold in a pee for really long, like you start to get like a stomach ache, like where your bladder is. So that's starting.
This was at Ditka's, right? This wasn't at Second City?
No, this was at Ditka's. This was before Second City.
Okay.
Because the plan was to like go to Ditka's and then go to the show. So I'm sitting there, right? So we eat dinner. At this point, I've held in this piss for like an hour and a half. We finished dinner. It's really uncomfortable. We think, well, just go to the bathroom now. See if it's good. I go, you know what? I've been in there once. I'm not doing it. We're going back to the hotel. So we walk 30 minutes back to the hotel, 2 hours of holding this in. I finally take my piss. Now we got to walk all the way back to the Second City.
It's a far walk too.
Luckily, we did make it because luckily, we went to Ditka's earlier than we had planned because I had to pee.
And you went earlier to go pee, didn't pee.
Yeah.
Until you left Ditka's.
Yeah. So if we had gone to Ditka's when we originally planned and then just gone to Second City, like we would have been there at the same time we got there anyway.
You should have just pissed on yourself. You would have been the life of the fucking show.
I would have pissed. I don't know. Just piss myself in Second City.
Yeah, I mean, people do it all the time.
I don't know. Anyway, good fries there.
All the fries at the Ditka's or the Second City bar?
Second City.
Yeah, the fries are really good. But you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I kept thinking you were pissing at Second City because I was going to tell you, if you had gone up to the third floor of Second City, there's a nice private bathroom.
Really?
That anybody can use.
I did not know that.
And I would drive into the city from where I was living at the time, and sometimes I'd have to piss, and I'd be like, nope, hold it for the nice private bathroom.
That's a very Costanza move.
And you know what? I made it every time. My stomach would hurt on the drive, and parking was always a motherfucker. I used Spot Hero all the time. Paid like $5 for parking, so that was nice. But yeah, it's the one thing I don't miss about Chicago was parking was tough. I think parking in LA is better than parking in Chicago, if I'm being honest.
I think parking in any big city is a bitch.
The 2 times I've been to LA, and I was visiting. So the first time I visited in February, first time I visited July, second time was February. So it wasn't like I was always visiting when it was like a dead time in LA. But parking was plenty in the street for me. Never got towed. Never ran into any issues. Yeah, parking in LA is better than Chicago. Quote me on it. Put it on the box. You're looking for a segue into the movie Unforgiven, aren't you?
I am. Well, you know what? Because parking can be very unforgiving.
Could be unforgiving, especially when you're trying to park a horse, like in the movie Unforgiven.
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking about Unforgiven this week. If you didn't guess by the title of this episode, song, which is Unforgiven. All right. I will intro the movie because I got it up here on Wikipedia.
Good man.
Yes. Unforgiven is a 1992 American Western film produced and directed by Clint Eastwood. It stars Eastwood himself as William Money. Is it Money or Mooney?
I think it's Money.
Yeah, he's so money. An agent, outlaw, and killer who takes on one more job years after he had turned to farming. The film co-stars Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris, and was written by David Webb Peoples.
What else has David Webb Peoples written, by the way?
Blade Runner and 12 Monkeys.
Jesus Christ.
That's a good batting average.
What a man.
Yeah, this film won 4 Academy Awards. Best Picture and Best Director for Eastwood, Best Supporting Actor for Gene Hackman, and Best Film Editing for Joel Cox. Eastwood was nominated for Best Actor, but lost to Al Pacino for Son of a Woman. Hoo-ah!
Hoo-ah! I didn't know Hackman was... I had no idea that Hackman was nominated. And he won?
Yes, he won. This is his second Oscar.
Bill Daggett is a pretty good character.
He is. He's a bad carpenter, though.
Daunting. Very bad carpenter. Can't build a house. I forgot. So I've seen this movie. I think I watched it for a film class in college before. But I forgot how funny this movie was. There's just numerous lines where, like, the delivery is so intentional, like, just so serious. But the line in any other situation, like, I kept thinking of the movie, A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah.
The terrible, not so good
Seth MacFarlane film.
Seth MacFarlane movie. Like, they would say a line in this movie, and I'd be like, man, I wish Seth MacFarlane. I bet you Seth MacFarlane was wishing that A Million Ways to Die in the West was as funny as Unforgiven.
Well, English Bob's entire introduction is pretty jokes. Just telling people that there should be a queen in America. Or king or whatever.
And him oh, what's wrong? Your president was shot. Just him cracking jokes about Lincoln's assassination.
Yeah. President being shot? Yeah, okay. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Gene, and he's technically the villain of the movie, but Gene Hackman is so funny.
There's a moment where he basically commandeers Beauchamp from English Bob. And Beauchamp is basically just an audience plant that's like, infatuated with Wild West and like the bad guy, but then he sees a good guy and like he's like, oh, the good guys can be just as interesting. So you kind of you see the infatuation, and you fucking hate. Like, I hated Beauchamp this time around. I didn't pick up on it in my film studies because I was a younger idiot at the time. But him just gallivanting around to whoever will have him, and him kind of just being like a rubbernecker the whole time. I wanted somebody to shoot him.
He almost did get shot. He's a biographer, and he's like, he just believes all these bullshit stories because he's like, oh, this is so great. The idea of the Old West is so great, which is obviously the whole movie's about, actually, all these people were little shits. And it wasn't cool, and John Wayne was a bad dude.
I'm not going to... There's a famous line in Running Scared about John Wayne. Go watch that scene and you'll get it. Matt knows. But Beauchamp just reminded me of like the bard from not Witcher, the game that Baldur's Gate 3. Just
What's it? Volvo?
Just
Yeah.
hopping around, telling tales, all of it's bullshit. Beauchamp is just navel gazing the whole entire fucking movie.
Yeah, just going where he's like, oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, that's so cool. And it's like, oh no, you're cooler. You beat him up. I want to know about you.
He acts like there's who'd you shoot? Like there's a moment where Money at the end has killed 5 or 6 guys, and Beauchamp's like, who'd you kill first?
Yeah, like who cares?
And you did it because he was the best shot. He's like, I did it because it happened. That's the way it happened.
Yeah, it's like,
but Beauchamp wants to fucking put like, no, there's got to be a reason why. Like, there's got to be a reason for everything. But really, it's just no. I'm a bad man. I killed these people.
Yeah, it's like, how are you so?
Before I shoot you.
How are you so good at this? How are you such a cool cowboy? You know that you killed all these guys. It's just like luck.
I want them to make a sequel where it's just them going out to kill Beauchamp, and then they can end the movie as soon as he's dead. It can be a 30-minute. It can be a short if they want.
Just a little like 10-minute epilogue killing Beauchamp.
Kind of like what they did with Breaking Bad with the El Camino. Just do one of those, but it's just to kill Beauchamp because he wrote a bogus biography.
It can be.
Do you have a? I understand that you have some dad certified letterboxd reviews, man.
Oh yes, I do. Okay, I have 2, and I believe you have 1. So should I go both mine and then yours? Or should we go 1, 1, 1?
Go both yours because I now have 2 as well.
Oh, okay. Number 1. This is from Andrew Jupin, who gave this 4.5 stars and wrote, slouching in my chair, feet up on the ottoman, slippers on, drinking a beer while watching this on a Sunday. I have become my father.
He has indeed.
Yes.
I remember his dad doing that all the time.
The second one is from Pill with 1 L, who also gave it a 4.5 stars and wrote, I won't forgive how good this is.
Boo. I hate it. I hate it. So my first one here is from Mad. He gave the movie 4 stars, and he said, sad yeehaw noises, to which I very much agree. And then I'm gonna do a stand and watch first. I'm gonna quote my own letterboxd review because I've started doing this now.
Oh wow, I should follow you.
And I'm your asshole. It's like, I hate funny reviews, but I'm kind of starting to see the point because we don't need everyone's serious fucking 3-paragraph fucking here's why Unforgiven's about the death of the West. We all fucking know it is, buddy. But my review, I gave it 5 stars because I really enjoy this movie. And I wrote all this over a little pecker.
Listen, it's a blow to the man's ego.
He cut her up real bad too. He cut her face and her do they say titties?
Teats. They say teats. They say teats.
They cut her teats. Everyone's talking about how bad they cut this woman up, and then you cut to the woman, and you're like, she's fine. Those are gonna heal.
Yeah. I want to say this is you, but this picture looks like someone else.
Is it me with a headband on?
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me with a headband on. Yep.
Oh, you look so different in this picture than your other profile picture.
I'm a little older in that headband photo. The photo you're used to seeing is from 2018, so about 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, you look much more locked in here.
I was expecting it. Oh yeah, you look like shit now. My God, what happened, man?
The picture I'm used to seeing is like a nice LinkedIn, like, hey, I'm here, I'm professional, it's right. And then this photo looks like you're about to ask your cousin Nico to go bowling.
Actually, you know what? This photo's from 2019. I was going to use it for headshots for Second City auditions, and then COVID fucking hit. So then I was like, well, I guess it's my profile picture for everything now. Fuck. Oh, I've got a new friend. Yeah, so and I thought people like kind of being ridiculous about how cut up this character actually was. Her name's Daisy, right?
I believe so.
I just had the character up. Sally.
I
There's too
don't
many characters in
I
this movie.
don't remember most of the whores' names.
You're terrible, Matt. You don't remember any of the whores' names. You don't remember Sweet Strawberry Alice.
No, I didn't even know they said their names in the movie, if I'm being honest. And that's on the movie. That's not on me.
Yeah, there's Strawberry Alice. I think Delilah was the whore that got cut up.
Well, hey there, Delilah.
Yeah, but she's cut up, and the first time you see her, you're like, oh, she's like not
Like-
bad looking.
like she's
got cuts on her
Yeah,
face.
she's got cuts on her face, but like surely those will heal.
It's kind of like Game of Thrones, the second season. So when Tyrion is the hand for Joffrey, he gets his nose cut off in the book, and he's already a hideous man in the book. There's nothing you can do to the character that plays Tyrion to make that man look hideous. He's a beautiful man. I'm blanking on his name right now. Maybe that was the case.
Did they cut off Peter Dinklage? Did they cut off his nose in the show?
Peter Dinklage.
Didn't they just give him like a scar somewhere?
They gave him like a scar across the face. Yeah, they weren't going to cut off his nose. So the amount of makeup they were going to have to do on him for the rest of the show, then budget wise makes sense. But yeah, so I'm saying that because Delilah, you could have cut off her nose. She would have looked great.
Yeah. So is this one of your negatives?
No. So I was just saying, I'll save it. Go ahead and go ahead and segue into the.
Should we segue into the negatives?
Did we start the positives? I didn't even hear the sandwich part. I'm sorry.
I mean, we didn't mention the sandwich, but I feel like we did talk about Beauchamp.
Yeah, we did get into Beauchamp. So hey,
okay,
we're gonna do a criticism sandwich. Yeah, the
because
2 positives with a negative in the middle. It's a nice meaty negative. Just
yeah, and then more positives. The second, because dads love sandwiches.
Yeah,
it's the everything meal. Much like how X is the everything app, sandwich is the everything meal.
Oh, Musk, thank you for giving us the everything app. Yeah, so I would think my criticism, not so much criticism, but her being cut up, I think I kind of like that because it's kind of an exaggeration of her situation. Whereas this movie's like an not an investigation, but like a looking glass into the West and how like the West was greatly exaggerated and the myth of the cowboy was greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, I like how she looks fine, and then like they're immediately like she can't work no more. No one's gonna pay for her. Somebody will pay for her.
Someone will pay for her. Yeah.
Okay,
They're fine. They'll be fine.
I also love how when the kid comes to Clint Eastwood and is like, "Hey, there's a bounty on these 2 guys. They cut up this hooker." And the story he tells him is so like exaggerated as to what actually happened. Like they cut off.
Yeah, the show. Yeah.
They cut her up. They cut off her teats. And then when Eastwood goes to Morgan Freeman and is like, "Hey, I'm doing this one last job. These guys, they cut up this hooker." He embellishes that story even more.
So it gets more ridiculous. And then, when you finally see her, you're like, oh, this is what we're like. It's still fucked up. She got cut up, but like, this is.
Yeah. But so it's like everybody who's like regaling this tale of these 2 guys who cut up a whore. It's just it gets more and more exaggerated. As more people like tell it, none of that happened.
They took a bone tomahawk and they cut her in half and her innards were splitting out. She's still breathing though.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be doing good if you killed these guys. Like, yeah, I would be doing
nasty,
good.
They're vile.
Yeah, I would be doing good. No, you're doing it for the money.
Yeah, you Mr. Schofield kid, hold up now. While they did cut up that whore, they didn't disfigure the woman.
No, and she still has her teats.
Both teats were on.
Both teats were on and in fine form, I might add.
I just love how we're throwing around whores.
Well, that's what they call them in the movie.
That's what they called them in the West. Damn it.
Yeah, they were hooers, as my
Whores.
mother would say. That's how my mom pronounces the word whore. Hooer.
There's a line from Strawberry Alice I really like. That's also very fucking funny. Just because we let them smelly fools ride us like horses, don't mean we gotta let them brand us like horses. Maybe we ain't nothing but whores, but by God, we ain't horses. She is fucking hilarious, and she's just very much like the ringleader of wanting revenge. Like she's the one that gets all the whores. She's like, how much money you got? How much you got? How much? All right, we've got enough. And then they were giving out, what'd they call them? Free rides.
Oh, I don't remember what they
free
called
rides.
them.
What was it? You want a free one? You want a free one?
That might have been it. Yeah.
And then Money, being a man of honor, turns our sweet cut up Fitzgerald down because he has a wife.
Had a wife.
Had a wife, yes.
Yeah. He's a changed man, he says. The old William Money would have, but not the new one.
Not the new one. He's a changed man. So if I were to give this one negative to this movie, I think it would be Will Money's wife, Penny Money, who's only ever really mentioned by him in passing or in the word scroll at the beginning and the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like she was like like she was the excuse for him going straight and narrow.
Yeah, but she doesn't really exist.
They for lack of a better term, and I know they didn't have fridges back then. They fridged this woman.
Yeah, we know nothing about this woman other than her name, and she made him go straight, I guess.
And they throw his mother-in-law under the bus because his mother-in-law is hating on him, but we know why she's hating on him.
She's perfectly reasonable for hating on him because every time this guy shows up somewhere or is mentioned, there's a news story about some atrocious thing he did in the past.
Yeah, I don't think you even have to I don't think you have to do that whole thing at the beginning and the end mentioning Penny at all. Like if you opened it with him standing over someone's grave, like her grave, and then going back and having his kids separate those hogs because they're sick, and if they don't separate them, they're all going to get sick.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fine. I don't think you have to. I don't need that opening line where it's like that man was no good for her, but she still loved him anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you don't need the text at all because that's all communicated anyway. When you're just like, okay, he had a wife. When the guy's like, hey, I want you to be my partner. You're the legendary Will Money. And he's like, I don't do that anymore. Because of my wife. And he's like, well, you can buy her a dress. She died.
She's dead.
Right. Okay. Great. Now we know everything.
I'm not gonna fuck this whore because I had a wife.
I don't need to, right? I don't need like the text at the beginning doesn't really add anything. Like it's almost a stronger ending if it just ends on him riding away.
Because the lesson of the movie is that like we all suck and then we die.
Yeah, and the West was a myth.
The West was a myth.
So
things suck now. Things suck then. This Money guy is a terrible person, capable of terrible things. Yeah, and then he died.
Yeah, the West was a myth. It was all embellished. It really sucked, and it ended with just him riding away after like killing everybody. Great, that sums it all up. I don't need to know that. Oh, and his mother-in-law came back to the house, but he had already left with the kids. Some say he went to San Francisco. Like I don't give a fuck anymore. Okay, he rode away. That's the end of the myth.
Moving to San Francisco is a happy ending because he got to move out of Kansas. He doesn't deserve to move out of Kansas.
No, he doesn't.
Keep his ass in Kansas. I hope a tumbleweed fucking rolls over him and kills him. It's terrible, man.
Just a single tumbleweed. I want to know how old this Penny was because this is like 63-year-old Clint Eastwood here, and he's got like what 2 6-year-olds.
She died at the ripe age of 16. She lived a long, good life, and then at the age of 16, killed over. The cough got her. The cough got her. She did.
Yes, the cop. It's the black lung, Papa.
I'm so, I'm sorry, William. Tell William Jr. I love him and to separate those damn pigs. I do love William Money Jr. coming out. First of all, the man is a menace, and so he still thought he needed a junior in his life for some reason. But the William Money Jr. coming, Dad, I can't move those damn hogs.
Watch the cussing. What does he
I
tell him?
will
He's
say-
like, just keep trying, just go do it.
Every other line to them is like, move the pigs, separate the pigs. You keep those hogs separated now. Y'all kill 2 chickens if you need to. I'll be back in about 2 weeks.
All right, is that it for negatives?
I think they spend a little too much time with English Bob.
Really, too much time with English Bob.
I think there's too much time with English Bob. I think you can cut down English Bob just a smidge, not a whole lot, because I like the scene with Beauchamp trying to give him the gun, and I say it out loud now. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we had just enough time. There's just like a 15-20 minute section of the movie where money disappears, and I get why we do it, because we need to see how much of a piece of shit Little Bill is. We need to see how much of a piece of shit Beauchamp is, and just everything in general. But then, like, we get to later in the movie, and we don't see, like, Ned gets tortured to death, and then his body gets put out. So it kind of feels like the stuff at the end gets rushed a little bit. So that makes me feel like
it did feel a little abrupt, but like it's not that long of a movie. It's like
no,
it's just over 2 hours. So I don't know if it's that there's too much English Bob or there's just not enough rest of the movie.
I either wanted to see a little more of Ned or a little less of English Bob, because I just feel like you're killing one of the main characters. Like, I kind of want to be there.
Yeah, like we just hear about it, right?
Because whenever we see every other death, like, it's long, it's painful, like they shoot the boy. What's his name? One of the guys who cut the teats off that one whore. And he's laying there. He's like, I'm dying. I'm thirsty. Can someone give me some water?
Yeah, I think that was. I know one of their names was Mike. Quick Mike.
Was it Quick Mike? Maybe
it was either Quick Mike or Davey.
But he's dying, and it's like a long, drawn out scene. And I don't know, like that. And that's when Ned kind of, gets cold feet and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm out. I can't do it. And then we're brought to a scene of torture where Ned's being whipped by Little Bill, trying to suss out Money and the Schofield kid. And I'm not saying I wanted to sit there and watch Ned be whipped for forever.
I would have liked to, I would have like, did they mean to kill him? Was it an accident?
I mean, Little Bill was fucking vicious. Like, you saw him kick the shit out of English Bob.
Yeah. And Will Money, but
and Will Money. So I'm just saying, like, we saw that violence towards those other characters.
Yeah, but he didn't kill them, right?
This was the third time, and he actually kills the man. So I wanted to, because I think it's the only time we see Little Bill kill or the only time it's insinuated that Little Bill has killed anybody.
Yes.
We don't actually see Little Bill kill anybody.
No, we don't. Like, he beats them up, but then he lets them go.
Yeah, so it's the first time Little Bill, to quote the Joker from earlier conversations, breaks his one rule.
Yeah, like I don't need to see him get whipped. It's like, because like, did he mean? Because he doesn't really kill anybody. So it's like, did he even mean to kill him? Like,
right?
Was it like, just give me some scene of context there, Even if it's, you don't show him killing him, give me something, just a little extra.
Yeah, because one of the we keep saying whores, but one of the whores comes and tells Money, they're like, oh, we split it in threes. I got to take Ned his portion. She's like, oh, you haven't heard? Ned's dead, baby. And yeah, it's not that I remember watching it in film school and not film school, in my film class and thinking like, oh, that came out of nowhere. So I knew it was coming this time, but I don't know. It just felt like a weird way to send off the character who kind of felt like he was the like the moral centerpiece, even though he was cheating on his wife with some horse,
But
getting free ones.
who among us hasn't?
Not I. Not I'm not getting free ones behind my wife's back. In case you're listening to this, honey.
Yeah. I think my only real other negative, the character of the kid, I find him a bit annoying.
The Schofield kid.
Yeah. Like I know
Oh, you mean his nearsightedness and his ability to still identify someone even though he's very nearsightedness.
Yeah, like I get his inclusion as a character, right? Because it's that whole thing where like he lies about who he is to, like, I killed 5 men. And it's like, no, and it's like he really hasn't. He's just killed the one guy just now, and he's like, take the money, kid. Don't take the money and leave this life or whatever, And like that's all well and good, and I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the actor, but I just found him really annoying. Like he felt to me like they took a character from Young Guns and put him in this movie.
I don't remember a lot about Young Guns, but this did make me, that character specifically made me want to rewatch Young Guns because it reminded me of Emilio Estevez. I don't know why.
Yeah, but like that's the vibe I got from him. Like I'm like, this guy should be in Young Guns, not Unforgiven.
Well, I think it's because he plays that exaggerated, like all his experience with the West is anything he's read in a book or in the newspaper. He bought into the big lie, which I'm not referring to January 6th. I'm referring to the West.
Yeah, he bought into the big lie, and he's like, yeah, I'm this big cowboy. I killed 5 men, right? And it's like, but so like it's not the character. I don't know, but something about him was very annoying to me. Like I wouldn't take the character out of the movie necessarily because I think thematically he's like has a reason to be there. But I don't know, like dial him down a little bit, maybe. Or get a different actor.
I do think we're supposed to come away hating him until the very end when he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to play cowboy. I want. I had to stop myself. I was going to quote a terrible movie. But yeah, I think up until he like has his comeuppance after killing one of the cutters, I think Texas Slim, right? I think we're supposed to hate him up until the end, honestly. And even then, I'm like, no, well, you got to live with that, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like,
you killed the man on the crapper.
Yeah, like I know, and like just maybe like him as a character, his whole point is like, don't be a cowboy like us. It's not what you read about. But like this movie's called Unforgiven. Like maybe I would have, give me more William and Ned and less William and the Schofield kid. Let them just give me the old guns reckoning with their past instead of just this annoying kid learning. Oh, this shit sucks actually.
Yeah, him and Beauchamp kind of both fill that audience surrogate kind of.
Yeah.
Just in 2 different instances.
Yeah, like just give me Morgan Freeman. Give me Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood like looking back on their lives and being like, yeah, our lives sucked actually. We're terrible people.
I'm going to go get a free one. Don't tell my wife. They've been taking advances.
Yeah, and yeah, like Beauchamp's already the surrogate of like, yeah, this whole thing is all exaggerated and all bullshit. Like, do we need another character to learn that? I don't think so.
I kind of like the opposite ends both those characters end up on, because Beauchamp, he's still gonna believe in the West no matter how he ends up. Like he's gonna be like, oh fucking yeah. I bet you the piece he writes about money is like this heroic, like, oh, he took on 5 men, the one killed his friend. But in the same instance, he sat there and watched he watched Little Bill whip Ned to death.
I feel like,
And
yeah, that's
before
why.
anything, he would have written a brave piece. Oh, Little Bill, like this scoundrel killed these men who were just looking for a good time. Like he would have spun the story to make whoever he ended up adoring by the end the hero.
Yeah, I feel like that's why, like, as an audience surrogate, like, Beauchamp is kind of just a stronger character because, like, he's the guy, like, because the whole movie is about, like, oh, the cowboy myth is, like, just exaggerating and this all sucked and everything you learned in Rio Bravo was bullshit. And, like, Beauchamp's the character that comes out of that, and, like, when this movie's over, he's gonna probably write a book, and that book's gonna be made into a John Wayne movie in 45 years. And the Schofield kid's just like the one who learns, like, yeah, this sucks actually. And it's like, well, the movie's about how we really haven't learned that yet.
I think if there are more Schofield kids out there, like if there are more young wannabe cowboys, maybe like just the fact that there's this one loser who wants to, well, maybe, you know, maybe the Schofield kid was like an incel and they're like, he wants to go play cowboy. Send him out there. Send him, get him out of the house.
The incel cowboy.
Hey, don't nobody write that movie. I'm copywriting that right now. Incel cowboy.
Puts on his hat, puts on his clown makeup.
Why won't anybody fuck me? I'm a cowboy. He's
gonna show us the real him.
You're Joker.
All right, positives, more positives.
Well, first of all, I didn't realize Ron White was in this movie.
Is he the comedian?
No, different Ron White. Sorry. Sorry to misinform everybody. Different Ron White. They fucking tricked me. They call me tater salad. I said it earlier, but I really like the comedy in this, especially Gene Hackman's Little Bill's terrible carpentry.
Yes, it's such a good recurring bit of his just like, because at first you think, hey, this guy's building his own house, that's pretty good, but then the more you see of it, you're like, this thing's terrible. This is a terrible house.
There's a moment where the guy Beauchamp is sitting at the table writing stuff down that Little Bill is like reminiscing about. And, Beauchamp's just sitting there navel gazing. And as he's doing it, it's raining outside and the roof is dripping in multiple spots as he's trying to write. And Beauchamp's like, Little Bill says something about hanging somebody. And Beauchamp's like, yeah, while you're at it, hang your carpenter. And Little Bill does not like that.
Gene Hackman is just, he's so good at just that kind of comedy. Like, he's not like doing bits and like saying like punchlines. He's just like, he's so naturalistic in his just delivery of these funny things that he says.
Still can't believe that man's last movie technically was Mooseport.
Yeah. Like when he picks up Beauchamp's book, The Duke of Death, the Duck of Death.
The Duck of Death.
Like, he says it with such sincerity every time, and he keeps getting it wrong after he's corrected like twice. It's Duke actually. So this Duck of Death, and like it's so good. Just Gene Hackman was so good, man. He deserved that Oscar. Let's give him another one just for being Gene Hackman. Give
him another one. Don't mention Mooseport though. Leave Mooseport as far away as you can. My God, what a movie to go out on.
It's the movie that made him quit.
The fact that he plays this character, like, thinks so highly of himself, and we see plainly that the whole town thinks he's a fucking joke.
Yeah,
they're afraid of him, but like when he's not there, they're like, man can't even build a house.
Yeah, he's got that, and he's got that such a great sense of just like, he thinks he's like this king shit dude, but he's just kind of like a dork.
But he thinks so highly of himself, and it's just another side of the West where it's like, oh, these sheriffs were upholding the law and like protecting the people of the land. It's like, no, they really weren't.
No, they were cops. A cop is a cop.
You know how much you hate cops now? They were back then too.
Yeah, and it's just like, but yeah, he's got this such bravado with him. Like he's telling Beauchamp, like, yeah, well, actually, in a gunfight, this is what's gonna get you out on top. He's this master, and he's just really just a dorky guy who can't build a house.
Well, and he's in that one scene. He's looking for an excuse to kill English Bob. He's like, "Give him the gun. Go ahead, give him the gun. I want you to give him the gun." And English Bob fucking knows better. And English Bob's also like, "No, this man's about to give me an empty fucking gun." But
Yeah.
it turns out he wasn't. He was giving him a fully loaded Magnum. So
Yeah.
I think he's also kind of an idiot. He's just a real fucking dipshit.
I feel no, but it's because like in his mind he would have won that.
He chalked it up like he chalks it up as a win either way. He's like, "Oh, chicken shit wasn't going to draw on me anyway."
Because like in his mind, he's the Old West sheriff, right? He's that guy, right? He's High Noon. Not High Noon. High Noon was a coward, but like he's that guy.
Man, High Noon was a guy. He's a man that believes that the respect comes from fear. People liking him and his power should come from fear and not from a place of respect.
Yeah, and he's also delusional.
Yes, very, very delusional.
Because he thinks in his mind, I'm the sheriff. If he gave him the gun, I would have won that draw. But and as we know later, well, how'd you kill all those men? Luck. It's always luck.
And the number of after money kills everyone and is like, if you don't want to die, get the fuck out of here. The number of deputies that are just like, hey, fuck him, we're going.
We don't want to die. Nope, he's dead now.
Money could have easily been gunned down at the end.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, no.
At that point, it's also at that point, it's them believing the hype. Like, if you don't want to die, get out of here. And nobody thinking, wait a minute, he's got to be out of bullets by now. And there's 6 of us. But they run away.
I just thought of another funny scene I forgot to mention earlier.
Mention it now.
At the beginning, when Money is like rethinking of following the kid, and he's shooting at a can with his pistol, and he misses. And he goes out and gets a shotgun and shoots it. And that's like the deciding factor. Like, yep, I got it. I still got it. Yeah. Here we go.
I like what? Oh yeah, when they're killing the first guy, and Morgan Freeman can't do it. Schofield goes, well, you do it. You're William Money. He's like, well, I'm not so good with one of these. Misses basically every shot. How many more bullets I got left? 2. Misses. Both of them.
It's such a slow, but like it's a good slow scene that shows like, the West isn't fast and clean like you think it is. It is slow and sloppy.
It's like, hey, you think, oh, it's Clint Eastwood. He's the cowboy. Now that he has the gun, that guy's going down immediately. No, he wastes 8 bullets.
Did I fire 6 shots or 7?
Like
he's not shooting off some wacky saying.
Yeah,
he's not. Yeah,
it's like, oh, in the Western you expect, how many bullets I got left? 2. Makes the shot. In this one, misses both of them. Reload this.
Yeah, there's no standing across from each other in town getting ready to draw. The closest we get to a draw is that prison scene. And
even the final showdown, you think, oh, Money and Little Bill, final showdown. No, he literally throws a shotgun at him and shoots him in the gut, and that's it. You barely see it. It happens in like a half a second. I had to rewind because I was like, well, hang on, when the hell did he kill Gene Hackman? And
I had to do the same thing because like I don't remember him killing him.
Yeah, because I see him on the ground, right? And I was like, wait a minute, when did that happen? And I go back and it's like, oh, I did see it. It just happened so fast I missed it.
And that's another thing I love is just that the movie's like, no, like it doesn't matter. Like this isn't. We're not romanticizing it. Like people just die in random orders, and they drive it home with Beauchamp coming up and asking after the fact.
Yeah, how'd you do it? Luck. It's always been luck.
God, I love this movie.
Yeah, great movie. I'll just end off saying I love how this movie is just a bunch of real just shitty people, and they all think they're doing the right thing. That's
But they're
so
yeah,
yeah, it's just some bad dudes, and they all think not even necessarily that they're the good guy, but they all think that what they're doing is the correct thing. So like in another movie, like Will Money's the bad guy, right? In another movie,
right.
like the it goes down differently because every person in this movie believes that what they're doing is the right thing for the greater good. Like Little Bill doesn't think he's a psychopath. Little Bill thinks, I'm keeping law and order in this town. No guns. You bring in a gun, I beat the shit out of you. Like his whole motivation is I don't want people coming in here to collect on this bounty, which is kind of reasonable.
Yeah, because everyone at that point, everyone is like making it this big tale of like, oh, even the whores are like, for $10,000, you got to get this guy who cut up this whore real bad, cut off her teeth. Like they really sell the story, and by the time it gets this, like it's a bad game of telephone, is what we're seeing in live,
Yeah.
like the movie.
Yeah,
Like oh, they lobbed off both teats.
yeah, like we see Clint Eastwood as the good guy because that's who we've been following, and we want him to kill all those people because hey, we like Morgan Freeman, he's his friend. But like to Little Bill, he's like, no assassins allowed. We're stopping crime. This is the right thing to do, and he almost has a point if he wasn't such a shitbag. But they're all shitbags.
Well, even like I forget the character. Was it Big Mike or whatever, the one that gets shot in the gut? Quick Mike.
Quick Mike.
He tries to make right with with Delilah by bringing her the best horse. His horse we too. Fucked up. I'm sorry for my buddy. Like my buddy's a fucking asshole.
That wasn't like that was an extra horse he was going to give them too. Like here, take this one too. Like as an apology. Because Gene Hackman's like, okay, you cut up a whore, so bring us some horses to, make up for the lost income because no one's going to pay for this whore now. And his buddy's like, hey, okay, well, I brought you this extra horse as like an apology. And they're like, fuck you. They throw things at him. It's like everybody in this movie is a big, mean idiot, but they all think that they're doing the correct thing.
And they're all thinking it's the West. This is what we do in the West.
This is how it's done, and you're the bad guy, and I'm the good guy, and it's like that's right. And even before like Clint Eastwood double taps him, Little Bill's like, I don't deserve this. Deserve's got nothing to do with it. This is just how it is. That's just the Old West. It was just a shit place.
And the point of the movie is that like it didn't have to be this way though. It didn't have to be. We didn't have to do any of this.
Yeah. None of it had to be this way. But that's just, nobody deserved this. But that's just how it was. This is the life of cowboys and outlaws, and it sucked. And John Wayne was a bad dude.
Or the other quote I mentioned about John Wayne.
Yeah.
If I didn't know anything about this movie and I didn't know that Clint Eastwood was directing it, I would have like sworn up and down this was the Coen Brothers movie.
I could see that.
Just from the little bits of comedy here and there, how terrible everybody is once you really look at them. Just the number of things that happen that set things into motion. Like if the gaggle of whores,
the gaggle of whores
hadn't thrown things at the guy trying to make peace with the horse.
Yeah, if they had just taken the horse, just accept the apology.
I'm not saying that like it forgives everything. Essentially, the sin they commit of his friend having a little pecker and cutting up Delilah is unforgiven. No matter, you can't do anything to make it. You can't do anything to make it right. The only thing you can do to make it right is fucking die.
And even the inciting incident is he cut her up because she laughed at his little pecker. Well, maybe you shouldn't have laughed. You're in the service industry. The customer is always right.
Oh no, did we just roundabout to victim blaming? I don't know anymore. I don't know. There's layers. See, victim blaming is
Listen,
like
look.
onions.
But here's the thing. Should he have cut her up? No. Should she have laughed? No. Should any of this have happened? No. This whole movie, the inciting incident of this movie is the stupidest possible thing. But that's how it was back then. It just sucked.
It's unforgivable how stupid everybody is.
Yeah, like it's just that's how it was back then. It wasn't Rio Bravo. It wasn't people just hanging about. Cool hangout movie. No. Fucking life sucked and then you died.
And sometimes you died having a little pecker.
Yeah.
On the John. Poor guy died on the John.
All right. What do you rate this movie? I guess you already revealed it.
I essentially already, yeah, with my letterbox. This is a 5-star movie.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5. I don't know what would make it a 5. Maybe on another watch. But after I watched it, I was debating, is it 4.5 or 5? But I just feel like if I don't feel it in my gut that it's a 5, and it's a 4.5.
I can understand that. We did talk about the opening prologue and the epilogue featuring Penny, the faceless Penny Money.
Penny Money, the faceless, practically nameless.
The poor woman was named Penny Money.
Penny Money. Oh God.
That poor woman.
Yeah.
Not being in this movie was the nicest thing you could have done to her. Because
that's true. She died before. She died before the movie. Everybody dies. The Old West.
Penny Money.
It's just a shitty time to be alive.
She sounds like the office manager for 007.
Penny Money. No, she sounds like the office manager of Bizarro 007, 700.
I'm pretty. Oh no, the woman's name is Moneypenny. So when you say her name, last name, first name, she is Moneypenny from the MI6.
Yeah,
that poor woman.
All right,
got an MI6 code name.
We got a 5-star rating. We got a 4.5-star rating. That's out of 20, by the way. This movie sucks. It's out of 5. Dad movie rating. How much of a dad movie is this?
Matthew, this is a Western. It was not going to get anything under 100%.
Well, I feel like a Western is by default like 80%, but yeah, this is 100. This is 100% dad movie.
It's 100. It's a Western. It's got Clint Eastwood. It's got Gene Hackman. It's got Morgan Freeman. 100%.
Yeah. Any movie, Western, that's an automatic 80. Any movie with Gene Hackman is like an automatic 50. This is over 100%, really, if we're doing it by just pure math. Any movie with Clint Eastwood, that's like an automatic, 50, 60% dad movie. This is like a 200% dad movie if we're getting down to it.
Do you think this is a dad movie that makes dads cry?
I don't think so.
I agree.
Did you cry?
I got a little choked up when the kid was having some remorse about having taken a life.
Interesting.
Just a little choked up because you knew when he said he had killed 5 men, you knew he was fucking lying. And just to see him, like, he finally took a life. He finally did the thing he wanted to do. And now he realizes he was completely wrong. Just seeing that flip of the switch and that remorse that quickly.
Okay. I still feel like most dads, they're I feel like the default dad reaction to that would be, good for you, kid. Good for you. Just muttering to themselves. Nodding their heads slightly.
Well, I do the sick thing of like, oh, like if that were my son.
Oh, okay. Then that's a decent reaction then. But I don't think this is a makes dads cry dad movie.
No.
All right, well, you know what time it is now.
Oh shit, I'm ready.
Let's go. It's time for dad jokes about the movie.
I've got a good one. Do you want to go first? You have two, don't you?
I do have two. How many do you have? Just one?
Just one.
Okay.
So this is about Delilah.
All right.
Everyone keeps talking about how cut up Delilah is. I don't know. I really like the cut of her jib.
All right.
It's a bad one, but
All right. My first joke, I should preface this. You won't really get this joke if you aren't knowledgeable about the world of science. But if you are, then you will understand this joke. Okay?
you just called everybody listening an idiot.
Well, if they understand the joke, then they're not an idiot. Okay. Marvel are developing a new superhero who has the ability to edit people's DNA. His name will be Gene Hackman.
All right. I got it.
All right.
I'm smart.
All right. And okay. Which cowboy is famous for starting fires? Flint Eastwood.
I hate you so much. Solid dad jokes from a non-father.
Yeah. Well, you know what time it is now.
Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel?
Yes.
So wait, is it gonna play is it gonna play my spin that wheel soundbite before that spin that wheel?
Just like it did last episode. Which is the episode.
Yes.
Last episode was the genesis of that. And that's how we made it up. And yep, this episode, same thing. It's that spin that wheel's gonna play, and then they'll hear you say spin that wheel. So they're gonna hear you say spin that wheel twice. Except one time we'll have funky music over it.
You should you should capture it every time just so it keeps doing it. And it just keeps building. Just more spin that wheel.
You're saying
Every time.
You're saying every time you say spin that wheel, add it to the spin that wheel sound that you've already made?
Yep. Every time.
So like
until it becomes this fucking weird thing of like continuous spin that wheels.
So just spin that wheel, spin that wheel, spin that wheel. Until
and then it eventually gets to me actually saying it that time, and then you just have to keep adding it every time.
So every time you say it, I take it and add it until eventually like it's the length of an episode.
Yep. And you know what? I'm just really what I'm doing here is trying to give you more work in post.
You know what? I'll take that idea under consideration, and I've considered it.
Man.
Not happening.
So I do want to ask you before you spin. Is there anything on this list that you're like, oh, I hope it lands on this?
Yes, there is.
I've got one, but I want to hear what yours is.
I have a couple that I'm really hoping it lands on. Really hoping it lands on Breakdown. And because that's just a movie I really, really like. And I'm really hoping it lands on Field of Dreams because I've never seen it.
Oh, and you know what? That would be really good.
Yeah.
With baseball season coming to an end. I get into the baseball mood around this time of the year anyway. I've got two. More generic choice up top is something that's streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't have a random $5 charge from Amazon. And then the other thing is, so I just saw Alien Romulus, and so I would like an excuse to go and watch Aliens now.
Yes, which I've
never seen. But also I realized all the Alien, Prometheus, all those movies are on Hulu right now. So I mean, I might watch it either way.
They are. What was the other one you really want it to land on?
Just something that's streaming somewhere.
Oh, just anything that's streaming?
Anything that's streaming.
Anything on this list that's streaming.
We're 2 for 4 right now. All the other one. Actually, we've only done one movie that was streaming at the time that we watched it.
That's true. Barbershop.
Barbershop, and that was a technicality. It was free. It was Tubi.
You watched it on Tubi? I watched it on Canopy.
Okay. Oh, I forget the Canada thing. Forget you guys have different
No,
free
Canopy.
streamers up there.
Canopy is a streaming service you get included with your library card.
I mean, I have Hoopla down here, but you know what? I realize now.
We have Hoopla here too. You don't have Canopy?
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah. Most of the stuff that's on, like, I'll look it up and it'll say it's on Hoopla, and if it's on Hoopla, it's also on Canopy. And I find Canopy better. I guess that's just a Canadian thing.
Well, in Hoopla, at least my Hoopla has like a 6-item limit per month, and I'm usually getting like comics or trade back issues, trade paperbacks. But now that I think about it, I probably could start just going to the library and picking up the DVDs.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Okay, we know Aliens is streaming. Ricky Stenicki is streaming. I'm pretty sure Collateral is streaming.
Oh yeah, it's Michael Mann movies are everywhere.
Yeah.
Legally, Michael Mann movies have to be streaming so assholes on Twitter can have hot takes.
If their take is Michael Mann isn't good, then they're an idiot.
I'm ready for that wheel spin though.
Ambulance, I'm pretty sure is on streaming. It's Michael Bay. They're always everywhere.
I think I saw that one on the Amazon.
Breakdown, I don't believe is streaming. Burn After Reading, I'm pretty sure is streaming. Crimson Tide, I'm pretty sure is streaming. I'm not sure about Con Air. Quiet Place has to be streaming somewhere, right?
Con Air's on Hulu.
Oh, Con Air is on Hulu? It's on Hulu.
Hulu seems.
All right, that means it's
Hulu is the new FX. They've got the movies.
If it's on Hulu, that means it's on Disney Plus here. Quiet Place. Quiet Place has to be streaming somewhere. Civil War.
Well, and the rule of thumb is if a movie has a sequel, coming out, usually it's streaming somewhere.
You know what? I remember when the new Ghostbusters came out, the Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire.
Ghostbusters Afterlife wasn't streaming anywhere before it came out. Civil War, I don't think is streaming. Hitman is streaming. It Follows, I don't know. Most of these, I think, are streaming.
I don't know where Quiet Place is, but we can find it. All
right, I'm going to spin that wheel now.
Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel.
Now, obviously, I don't have this isn't hooked up to anything, so I'm going to make our own wheel spin sound. Oh, it was so close to breakdown. It's like right on the edge. Anyway, it's Ambulance.
No. Oh, Ambulance. How is this movie? This movie is on Hulu, Sling TV, and YouTube Primetime subscription.
Oh, I own this movie on 4K.
Oh, you sick motherfucker.
Oh, I'm an ambulance head, man.
Isaac Gonzalez, Jake Gyllenhaal, Garrett Dillahunt, Olivia Stambulia, A. Martinez, Jamie McBride. Is it Jamie McBride related to Danny McBride?
I don't know.
Kind of looks like it. Colin Woodall, Jackson White, Devin Chandler. Who's starring opposite of Jake Gyllenhaal in this?
Oh, the guy who plays Black Manta. Aquaman. What's his name?
The cast order on Google is just a mess.
Yeah, that is weird. It's what's his name?
Yeah, Abdul Mateen II.
Yes. Anyway, I'm an ambulance.
Yeah, he was towards the bottom on Google.
I saw this movie in theaters when it came out. I was the only one in the theater.
I'm just glad it's streaming somewhere for me.
This movie. Listen, spoiler for next week. I think this movie rules.
With the movies that are like middling, that are like, some people hate them, some people like them. Those tend to have the better letterboxd reviews, the easier to pick. Because when you get the really good movies, everybody wants to be a fucking professor of film and be like, well, this movie is perfect and here's why.
Yeah.
I realize I'm saying that on a podcast where we talk about movies, but
Yeah, but my letterbox philosophy is I don't go really longer. I don't go that long if I can help it, and if I think of something funny, that's my review. No ifs, ands, or buts. Got to get that out in the world.
exactly.
If I can't think of anything
Again,
funny,
I
then you get a real review. But if I think of something funny, that's my review.
I was an asshole for the longest time. It's like, oh, I hate review culture. I hate how everything's a fucking joke. But now that I'm taking life a little less serious, I'm like, oh no, if people want to review it for real, let them review it for real. If people want to be jokey, let them be jokey.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a big softie, and I think that has something to do with being a dad.
I am not a dad, and I hate life. Life sucks. And then you die.
Well, where can people find you to keep up with how much you're hating life?
They can follow me on Twitter at RealMFresh. They can follow me on Twitch at RealMFresh. They can follow my YouTube channel at Rongo Pro, I think. Me and my buddy are just starting up recording some Let's Plays that we haven't done in a while, but so those will be back up soon. So you should go subscribe and such, and just follow Hard Drive. And
Follow the hard drive.
follow harddrive.net, and read those articles. Don't just read the headlines on Twitter. Click on the articles, read them. Give us that site traffic. Give us those ad dollars. Subscribe to our Patreon, maybe.
Like the famous Onion article says, we don't get paid if you don't click the link, asshole.
Exactly. And I think that's it. Yeah.
So the people can find me on Twitter at that Kaufman. You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Knight. I'm gonna start streaming here soon once my schedule opens up. When will that happen? Who knows?
You can be streaming Fortnite because your name is Fat Knight.
That'd be good. Yeah. It wouldn't be good Fortnite though. Wouldn't be good, especially this new season right now that's happening. Everything's a little OP. So until they start getting some nerfs for all the I almost said Warhammer.
Don't be one of those. Don't be one of those nerf Nellies that want nerfs for everything.
There's a gun that you can attach it and it automatically shoots at enemies for you. So it's kind of War Machine. All the War Machine add-ons that you can get are kind of messy right now.
I don't know. You know what? Let it be fun. Let people be OP sometimes.
I was gonna say it is fun though. Like the new drops are fun.
I haven't. You got me back into it, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, but it's so much fun. You can also find my articles over on Hard Drive Magazine or harddrive.net, whatever you will. Go click those because I need one to do really well, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, like
Please?
them on Twitter. Like them all on Twitter.
Like them all. It kills me when they don't get liked. I'm dying a little on the inside. And then I host a gaming podcast with my brother called Smashing Game Time. We used to do news and stuff like every other podcast, but we're switching it up. We're doing audio Let's Plays. That's right. Audio.
Have you ever watched the Let's Play and thought, this is great, but I wish I couldn't see the gameplay?
I wish I could only hear the audio. And while two assholes talked over it. Then you'll love this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's out every Wednesday. Check it out.
All right. Well,
so I think we learned today that the West sucked.
Yeah, the West sucks, and make sure you give us a 1-star review. I'm not gonna beg you to give us a 5-star review. Give us a 1-star review.
If you're not gonna give us 1 star, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah,
1 star.
All these podcasts. If you listen to this whole episode, give us a 5-star review. We're not about that. We're not about that life. Go ahead, give us the 1. We don't care.
I've seen the bullshit you give 5 stars.
Yeah.
You think I want to be? You think I want to be in the same ring with those people?
Yeah.
No.
Dumbass Nepo Baby podcasts getting 5 stars. We don't want to be in that camp.
Fucking Nepo Baby podcast. You know what I hate more than a successful Nepo baby?
A failed Nepo baby.
A failed Nepo baby that didn't get a lick of their dad's talent.
Yeah,
lick of it.
If you're gonna be a Nepo baby, at least do something good. You know?
If you're gonna be the nepo baby of one of the funniest men on TV, you gotta be a little funny, just a little funny.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
I'm gonna say his name now. I'm gonna
Anyway,
say his name now. You can
don't
bleep
say
it.
it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm gonna give you some more work in. I'm gonna give you some more work in post. You're not funny.
Fuck. That's gonna be more work for me in post.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, give us that review. You know, spread the word. Word of mouth is so much more important to us than giving us a review.
Hey, wait a minute. That's my thing.
And
You son of a bitch.
and listen, if you don't do those things, then you'll never be forgiven. You'll be unforgiven.
You'll be unforgiven. Matt's right. Word of mouth is king. Fuck your stars.
Yeah, if it wasn't for word of mouth, the Unforgiven would have no plot. So that's how important word of mouth is.
I believe they call that dialogue if you're looking for a shorter way to say word of mouth.
No, I like the plot. Do you hear about what happened to those whores? They cut off their teeth. That's word of mouth, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the power of word of mouth.
Have a dialogue with your friends about this podcast.
Yeah. Tell your dad about this podcast.
Tell your dad about it.
Yeah.
Tell your granddad.
Maybe he'll stand and listen.
Or maybe he'll stand and watch.
Maybe he'll stand and watch while he stands and listens. Anyway,
That's it. I'm calling it.
Feel free to watch Ambulance this week before the next episode, if you care. If you're like, yeah, I'll watch that too.
Yeah, watch Ambulance, you Michael Bay heads.
Yeah, not Ambulance, Ambulance, because the L and the A are capitalized.
Because it's set in L.A.
Of course.
You can't spell ambulance without L.A.